Hey everybody, Jesse Castor with Better CNC here, and today our topic for our Friday shop talk is MFG.com. We're going to be answering the question, is MFG.com worth it? I'll let everybody answer it themselves, and I'll give my answer towards the end. But let's start off by answering what is MFG.com. So if you're not familiar, MFG.com is, I describe it as a sales tool used to connect machine shops with their customers. So where a tool like Exometry is an order board where it's live orders that you can pick up and if you want, MFG.com is a quote board. They have bidding opportunities listed on their website where you can pick what you want, bid on it, and if you win it, you win it. If you don't, you don't. But a big plus with MFG.com, even for the jobs you don't win, is you are put in direct contact with the customer. And to me, that is incredibly valuable. But yeah, MFG, they are not a middleman. You don't have to run anything through their system. You can take your relationships offline if you want. But if you do need the tools, they are able to handle your quoting. They're able to handle some payment processing as well. If you're just starting up and getting that stuff in place, you might be able to do that. But yeah, MFG is a quote board where you can network, build relationships, bid on projects, everything. You're in direct contact. They're not a middleman. My experience with MFG. So I signed up for MFG.com around the time that I bought my Leadwell V30. I put this presentation together, but I think I actually signed up just before I moved into the warehouse so I could start warming up to it. But either way, the first year I used it, we made $40,000 in revenue. Since we've been using it, we've added multiple new direct customers that I work with. They email me when they need bids. They send me purchase orders, and I've got them around the country. And it's all connections that I made through MFG.com. You also, thing that I track is that I want to make sure it pays for itself. So I want to make sure the work I pull in is enough to pay for its use, pay for MFG.com, and make some profit at the end. And so far, every year I've used it, it's done that for me. I did turn it off for a good portion of last year. About to say, this is just full transparency. I did turn it off for about 10 months last year, mainly because I had enough direct work that we didn't really need a tool for additional growth at the time. But we've reactivated it because I've gotten some more help here. I've changed some systems here. We're ready to start pushing for more growth. And already since I turned it on in December, I've already gotten 3 new customers and a couple $1,000s worth of orders already. So let's jump on some frequently asked questions that I see around whenever people bring up the topic MFG.com. First one being, how does it work? So whenever you log into MFG.com, you have a board and there's several items on that board and it all has different jobs that people are looking for bids on. And each one, you have the customer name, contact info, their preferred means of communication. You have all the part files, the quantities they're looking for, everything you need to bid a job. It's almost like they emailed you, but instead of going to your email, you go to mfg.com, you go to the website to review it. But they tell you the delivery dates they're looking for. They tell you, when they're no longer looking for bids, when they plan to place the order, when they need delivery by. And they also tell you their intention. Are they looking for a new manufacturer? Are they just looking for baseline pricing? Is it a new product and it's fresh in the world? Or are they changing suppliers? But you go in, you place your bid. You place the bid through the mfg.com website. And I always email it directly to the customer through my system as well. I have a quoting software that I use, so I can give them a digital quote where they can place their order directly with me as well. But yeah, it works both ways. But you can place it in the system, and if they don't accept the order, if they accept it, they can flag it in the system as accepted, and then it's between you and the customer to work out how you want to handle the transaction from there. Everything I do is offline. Handle it through with my own tools. MFG.com is able to handle payments if you want them to, but that's your choice. And if they don't accept it, if you are on the premium tier, then you can actually get insights. You can see how your pricing and how your lead times compared to other people that bid on that project. And you can also see how many people have bidded on everything. So if you're looking for something to bid on, you find a job that looks just right for you and nobody's bid on it yet, jump on that and be the first to bid, because a lot of times the first to bid wins the job. If you see that 10 plus people have bid on it, then you got a good feeling that's going to be a competitive field. You might not have the best chance of getting that one. So is it worth it? From someone who's used it for a couple years now, I think it is. I think it is, but you need to make sure you're using it. Let's say the way I view my business is if I don't get worried when I'm running out of work. I get worried when I'm running out of things to bid on. Having mfg.com gives me that avenue to make sure I always have quoting opportunities, so that we can always make sure work's flowing through the door. Because if you worry when you're running out of quotes before you run out of work, then you can keep feeding the train. But if the machine stops making chips, then I'm already too late. A lot of people seem to think that mfg.com is a race to the bottom. It is not. That's one of the real nice things about it, is you bid on the projects your way. Not everybody on there is looking for the cheapest person out there. Not everybody on there is just trying to pinch every penny they can out of you. Everything I've bid on there, I've bid the way I want to. I bid it my way. A couple times I've knocked the price down a little bit, but that's just if I see potential in the customer, because I know who they are. So I'll reduce my price to try and really get my foot in the door. But otherwise, that's just me making a choice. Otherwise, everything is bid my way. And so a lot of people ask, are you guaranteed to make money on MFG? You are not. It is not a guarantee, just like it's not a guarantee that somebody's going to walk in your door tomorrow with more work. You need to it's a sales tool. It's a marketing tool. It's like paying for Google ads, Facebook ads, things like that. You put it out there and you try and pull stuff in. Nice thing with MFG is it's a little bit more like fish in a barrel, because it's a focused location where customers are looking for work. They usually go there because they need something made. And that helps you get a leg up. It's basically chasing warm leads instead of a fresh introduction with everybody you meet. So no, it's not a guarantee, but it's a good place to start. I consider it marketing expense for my company. So with that, I want to give a couple tips and tricks that I've learned that help me win more work on there and build relationships with customers. So first thing I always recommend is make sure you have a robust quoting process. So part of being competitive on MFG is bidding on anything you can. If you want to take advantage of the tool that you're paying for, you want to bid on as much as you can. But there's a lot of opportunities, so you want to make sure you have a solid quoting process. So if you have a really nice spreadsheet, you can do it. But if you're doing it by hand or on a quoting spreadsheet you threw together in 20 minutes, you're probably not there yet. If you are somebody that uses quoting tools out on the market, like Paperless Parts, AMFG, Digifabster, Machine Research, AINC, any of those guys, then you're going to be better suited to bid on mfg.com, because you can bid quickly and you can give a nice presentation simultaneously. You also should be aware that your win rate is going to be lower on mfg.com. So if your customer is coming in the door, your typical customers, your direct customers, your local customers, if your win rate's about 40%, I would expect your win rate on MFG to probably be 8 to 10%, maybe 15 if you're real good. But you got to realize MFG is a competitive environment. People go there to bid on jobs. If somebody walks in your door looking to get work done, then odds are they're probably only talking to you or maybe one or two other shops around you. MFG is nationwide customers getting bids from nationwide shops. It's a focused location. It's going to be more competitive. Your win rate's going to be lower. That's just part of it. And that's just why you want to have that robust quoting process where you can bid on everything that makes sense for you. And something else that helps you get ahead is by thinking of it as a sales tool. Whenever you're bidding on stuff, you need to make because you're bidding against so many other shops, you want to make your sales process stick out. I always reach out to the customers. I always send direct quotes, and I make sure I have a nice quote presentation. I was talking to a new customer that I just made 2 weeks ago, and they said they almost went with another shop before they took my bid. because they had a lower price. But they said they were being fishy. They didn't have a website. They didn't really have much presence. They weren't responding that well. And I have a nice presence. I'm not the cheapest shop, but they could look at my website. I was emailing. I had a nice presentation in my emails and in my quote. And so the work ended up coming to me. But it's a sales tool. You need to treat it like one and put your best foot forward, put on your customer service hat, and take those extra steps to help you stick out of the field. If you're just sending bids in and hoping something comes back without doing any follow-ups, then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot on missing opportunities. But all of that kind of combines to just you get out what you put in. It's not something you sign up for and you bid once in a blue moon and you get work. It's something you have to work at. You want to make sure you have the time for it. And the process is in place to work with it effectively. So you get out what you put in. It takes some effort to put into it, but if you put in that effort, then you're going to get work out of it. It's not one of those tools like Xometry where you could pick it up, drop it whenever, because you pay for MFG.com. Make sure you use it. So final thoughts. I think it's a great tool to network with. It's a great tool to get potential customers and grow your email list. Even if you're not winning work on there, getting those points of contacts where you could follow up with them every once in a while and say, hey, just wanted to check in, see if you had anything you needed help with. Customers love that type of service. They love that proactive approach, and just getting that contact info off mfg.com is a great way to get there. Another big thing is they aren't a middleman. They're not trying to hide the customer details from you so that they could take a little piece of off the top. They are there to link you directly with the customer and the customer directly with you. That's the whole point of the resource, and that's why I think it's such a phenomenal tool to have in your toolbox if you can make sense of it. I will note, if you're starting your shop, don't go out of your way to pay for it. It is an expensive tool. But once you're at a point where you have some money that you can put towards marketing, can put towards sales, things like that, I think MFG should definitely be towards the top of that list. So, as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time. If you have any questions, comments, make sure to let me know below. And I misspoke in my last video. I have an email, youtube@bettercnc.com. I said YT before. That was incorrect. It's youtube@bettercnc.com. If you ever want to reach out directly about anything machine shops, just reach out. I'm an open book, and I love talking shop with other people on the same journey as me. So hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.